Namo Buddhaya and welcome to Fundamentals of Abhidhamma. This is week 8 and today we will be doing a Sutta class 8. Myanmar today is, it's a full moon day today and Myanmar is starting the Vasa period starting today. So the first thing I wanted to do is on this Guru Purnima, I wanted to wish Bhante and Vaishalita, our teachers, very happy Guru Purnima. And to Bhante, I wanted to wish a very good Vasa period as well. And with that, I would want Bhante to please start today's session. Today is Dhamma Chakka Pavattan Sutta is what Bhante will do. But Bhante, please go ahead.
Today there is a Dhammacakka Bodhana Day. Today actually Purnima Day, Guru Purnima Day. So according to Buddhist literature, today is a Dhammacakka Bodhana Day because the Buddha teach Dhammacakka Bodhana and the Sarana, Varanasi, Migadhavana. So actually, full moon day, today evening, Buddha teach his past discourse. That's why today is Dhammacakka Bodhana Day. That's why we should chanting his past discourse. So Buddha become the Buddha full moon day of May at the Buddha Gaya. So he became Sammasambuddha Buddha and the full moon day of May. So after he became Buddha and the Buddha Gaya, he dwelling surrounded Mahabodhi trees. So eighth week. Yeah, basically 7 weeks, etc. 1 week. So 7, 8 week. How many days he was spent near the Mahabodhi tree? Okay, more than 1 month. More than 1 month. Okay, full moon day of May, June, full moon day of June, now full moon day of July. Yeah, basically. So after that, he departs, going to Varanasi to talk Dhammacakka Bodhana. So today is his first lecture, first discourse. Today evening, okay, before sunset, okay, and the moon also arise, and the east side the moon, yeah, Bia rise. So Surya sun and the west side, now yet down. So both the moon and sun is, gathering together in the world. At the time, he start his first Dhamma discourse. So that's why we also should be chanting today with his special discourse. Today our online course also 2 months, 8 weeks, we complete that. Okay, today is a great Mahapunya Karma Day. Today we should Punyanumodana to share our merit, Dhamma Savana Dhamma Desana. So today is Mahamangala Day. Mahamangala Day, very much auspicious day. So today we should start. We should open this ceremony by the Namo Tassa Bhagavata Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times, and then take Ubasta. Basically, Wasa today start. Wasa 3 months. Okay, we are starting today. So tomorrow we were doing Wasa boat Daytana tomorrow. So around the world, all of the Theravada monks, they will stay one place for 4 months. Basically 90 days, 4 months. Okay. So monk stay one place for 3 months, doing Priyati Pratipatti. That's why this season, this occasion is very, very important for Dhamma. Okay. So this traditional culture is start from other Buddha time. Yeah, stay now. So Upasika also they take care about follow Upasta, and the rainy season. People cannot go outside. So that's why they also control in their life, and then they establish the buying the Shila, the follow Upasta for rainy season. So 1 month, the 4 Upasta day, every Upasta day, they focus this Upasta, going to temple, and the day Atashila. So man also stay one place, study, and they practice. So Upasika also, they focus, they are Atashila, and this rainy season. So this is a great culture, tradition, and Buddhism. That's why today we will take Vasta also. And then I will make Dhammacakka Bodhana Sutta. Yeah. And then Vishali Upasika, she will make presentation about Ratan Sutta Paritta. So after that, we will say something about our online course. Today's final conclusion. And then what about next online course plan? Also, she will explain something, and then do Punyanumodana. Whatever we done, great Punya Karma, we should sharing to all of beings, especially for a mother, for father, for grandma, grandfather, and then Guru, Acharya, and then all our relatives, all our beings, Deva, Brahma. So we should sharing our merit, this is also, need, according to our tradition. After that, we will make a conclusion. Okay, now we will start our function by the Namo Tassa Bhagavata Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay, this Rana Atashila Ubosta.
Ukasa aham bhante tisaranena saha atthanga samanagata uposata sila dhammam yachami anugaham katva sila detame bhante. Ukasa aham bhante tisaranena saha samanagata uposata sila dhammam yachami anugaham katva sila detame bhante. Tatyampi okasa aham bhante तिसरणेन सह अट्टंग समनागता उपोसत सील धम्मं याचामि अनुग्रहं कृत्वा सील देत मे भन्ते।
Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स।
Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, संघं शरणं गच्छामि।
Dudiyambi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dudiyambi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Dudiyambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
द्वितीयंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, द्वितीयंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि।
Tadiyambi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Tadiyambi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Tadiyambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami.
तत्यंपि बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, तत्यंपि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, तत्यंपि संघं शरणं गच्छामि।
Te Sarana Gamanan Sambonam
आम भन्ते।
Panadi Bada Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
पाणातिपाता वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Adena Dana Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
अदिन्नदाना वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Abrahmacharya Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
अब्रह्मचर्य वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Musavada Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
मुसावादा वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Sura Mereya Mijja Bamada Dhana Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
सुरामेरेय मज्ज पमादठाना वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Vigala Bhojana Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
विकाल भोजना वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Nacha
नच्च
Ida
गीत
Wadida
वादित
Visuga Dasana
विसुख दसन
Malaganda
माला गंध
Vilebana
विलेपना
Dharana
धारणा
Mandana
मंडना
Vibhusana Dhana Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
विभूषण ठान वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Ochasayana Mahasyana Viramani Sekhabdam Samadhiyami.
उच्च शयन महाशयन वेरमणि सिक्खापदं समादियामि।
Te Saranena Saha Atinga Sambanagada Ubatra Silan Sadugan Gadavadam Abhamadena Sambadeda.
आम भन्ते।
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
साध
Okay, now the Machaka Bodhana Sutta. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Evam Mesuda Egan Samayam Bhagavan Varanasiyam Viharadi isi patane migadaye Tadarago Bhagava Bisavagi ye Bhikkhu Amandesi Dwe me Bhikkhave Anda Papaji na Sewitaba Kadame Dwe Yo Chayam Game Su Kama Sukhanlika Nuyogo Hino Gammo Poto Janigo Anariyo Anatha Sahido Yo Jayan Adagila Madanu Yogo Dogho Anariyo Anatha Sahido Ede Go Bigaway Ubo Ande Nubagama Mijima Badipada Tadagade Na Abhi Samboda Chakhu Karani Nyana Karani Uba Sambadaya Abhinyaya Sambodaya Nibanaya Sanwodadi Kadamaja Sabikawe Beji Ma Badi Bada Tadagade Na Abhi Samboda Chakhu Karani Nyana Karani Upasamaya Abhinyaya Sambodaya Nibanaya Sanwodadi Ayamewa Rio Atingi Go Mago Seyati Dam Samya Dedi Sama Singapore Sama Wacha Sama Kamando Sama Ajiwo Sama Wayamo Sama Sati Sama Samadhi Ayangho Sabikawe Mijima Padipada Tadagade Nabi Sambuddha Chakhu Karani Nyana Karani Upasamaya Abhinyaya Sambodaya Nibbanaya Sanwodadi Idangho Bana Bhikkhave Dukkham Riya Sijam Vyadibi Dukkha Jarabi Dukkha Vyadibi Dukkha Maranambi Dukkham Abhi Yehi Sambyogo Dukkha Abhi Yehi Vibhyogo Dukkha Yambe Jana Labadi Dambi Dukkam Sangedena Pinchu Paranakam Da Dukkha Idango Bana Bhikkhave Dukkha Samudaya Arya Sichan Yayandana Bono Bhuika Nandiraga Sagada Dadara Bi Nandini Seya Jidam Kamadana Bhawadana Vibhawadana Idango Bana Bhikkhave Dukkha Niroram Arya Sichan Yo Dasayi Wadanaya Asisa Viraga Niroro Sago Pati Nesago Maudi Analeo Irango Bana Bhikkhave Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipada Arya Sicham Ayame Wariyo Atingi Gomego Seyadhida Samya Dedi Sama Singapore Sama Wayamo Sama Sati Sama Samadhi Samadhi Sama Singapore Sama Wacha Sama Gamando Sama Ajiwo Sama Wayamo Sama Sati Sama Samadhi Idam Dukkha Riyadh Sandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Sudesu Dhamesu Chakkhung Udapari Jnanam Udapari Penya Udapari Vijja Udapari Alogo Udapari Dangkho Panidam Dukkha Riyadh Sicham Parinyayandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Sudesu Dhamesu Chakkhung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Visa Udapari Dango Panidam Dukkha Riyadh Sicham Parinyayandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Sudesu Dhamesu Chakkhung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Alogo Udapari Idam Dukkha Samudaya Riyadh Sandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Sudesu Dhamesu Chakkhung Udapari Jnanam Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Alogo Udapari Dango Panidam Dukkha Samudaya Riyadh Sicham Bahadapandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Sudesu Dhamesu Chakkhung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Alogo Udapari Dango Panidam Dukkha Samudaya Riyadh Sicham Painandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Sudesu Dhamesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Idan Dukkha Nirodha Siya Sisandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Suddesu Dhammesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Dango Panidan Dukkha Nirodha Riya Sichan Sichika Dabandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Suddesu Dhammesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Dango Panidan Dukkha Nirodha Riya Sichan Sichikadandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Suddesu Dhammesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Idan Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Pripatariya Sichandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Suddesu Dhammesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Dango Panidan Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Pripatariya Sicham Bhavitapandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Suddesu Dhammesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Dango Panidan Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Pripatariya Sicham Bhavitapandi Me Bhikkhave Bhove Nanu Suddesu Dhammesu Chakung Udapari Jnana Udapari Pinya Udapari Vijja Udapari Aloka Udapari Yavinki Wencha Me Bhikkhave Imezu Chadusu Ariya Sichesu Ewanti Privudan Dwarasagaram Yada Buddha Jnana Dadana Na Tuvi Daudan Ahosi Newadawa Ham Bhikkhave Sarivage Loki Samargi Sabramagi Sasamana Byamaniya Bajaya Sadewa Manusaya Nudara Samasambodhi Abhisambu Dodi Pichi Nyasi Yado Sago Me Bhikkhave Ime Susadu Swaria Sichetu Ewan Dipti Wodan Dwarasa Garajata Buddha Jnana Dasana Suvisudan Ahosi Adhaham Bhikkhave Sadivage Loki Samaragi Sa Brahmanage Sa Samana Byamaniya Bajaya Sadewa Manusaya Nudara Samasambodhi Abhisambuddho Di Pichinyase Yani Sabana Me Dasana Udapadi Agupa Me Vimodi Aya Mandi Majadi Nati Dani Puna Bodhi Ida Moja Bhagawa Adamana Pincha Wagiya Bhikkhu Bhagawa Do Basida Abhinandondi Ima Samincha Bana Wea Grana Samin Binya Mane Ayasamanda Kodinyasa We resan we damalan dhamma chakon udapadi yangainchi samudaya dhamma sabadan nirora dhammandi bodhi desa pana bhagavata dhamma jage bhoma deva sadhamanosa we so edam bhagavato paranasiya isi parane megadaye Anudaram Dhamma Chakam Bhavadida Abdi Wodiya Samanina wa Byamanina wa Devina wa Marina wa Bimuna wa Kenachi wa Loka Samendi Bomanandewana Sadam Sodawa Chadu Maharajika Dewa Sadam Manosa Wesom Adhago Bhagawa Iman Udana Udanesi Inyasi Wadabo Kodinyo Inyasi Wadabo Kodinyo Di Idi Hita Ayasamado Kodinyasa Inyasi Kodinyo Dwiwa Nama Ohosidi Dhamma Chaga Bodhana Sodam Netidam
Sadhu.
Sadhu Sadhu
Sadhu.
Sadhu. Okay.
Yes, Bhante. So, Bhante, with
If
your
you are,
permission.
Yes,
yeah.
you.
Yes, Bhante. Thank you,
Okay,
Bhante.
now we see that. Yeah, thank you very much. Now we see.
Okay, now
The
I
screen
have
has started to
voiceover
share.
function. So that's why I will go.
Okay, Bhante. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Bhante. So I just introduce for today, and then I begin with the Ratana Sutta presentation. So, Bhante, I would like to say 1 minute for you, Bhante, for every one of us, and then I begin with the Ratana Sutta. May I, Bhante?
Yes, yes.
So, Vandami Bhante, and welcome you all to the Sutta presentation today. That is on August 2, 2020 in the USA and August 3 in Asia. So today is the commencement of Vasa for this year, the Theravada community celebrating. Retracing history as we understand today, we celebrate the Dhammacakka Pavattana Day in some countries, Theravada countries especially. The greatest and most compassionate teacher, the Tathagata, the Sammasambuddha, taught the beings, Deva and Manusya, in the Loka and the way to come out of suffering, the path to Nibbana. It was on this full moon day, then, that we pay our homage and reverence and venerate the Buddha, the Guru, and celebrate this Guru Purnima Day. We also revere the Dhamma, the Buddha teachings, and the noble Arya Sangha. As we see even today,
Online को मेरी गान लो नहीं रहा.
since the time of the historical Buddha, we pay our homage and reverence, even today. On behalf of the Sangha, Bhante, please accept our reverence, Anjali, and thank you for teaching us the noble Dhamma of the Tathagata. Thank you so much, Bhante, for being our teacher and our Guru. Also, continuing to trace in history, it was on this full moon day that Ananda, the Buddha's cousin and chief attendant, the most beloved of the disciples, became an Arhant, so that the first Dhamma Sangayan to settle the Buddhist council, the canon, commenced on this full moon day. How much can we be grateful to Bhante Ananda for memorizing and documenting the suttas so that we can listen to the Buddha Vachan even today. And we are so much thankful for the complete lineage, the continuous lineage of the noble Sangha for making this Dhamma reach us in its purity, that even today we have in this world the Arya Sangha. Today, by remembering all of these events that actually happened, evidently happened in history, by the power of all these truths, by the wholesome essence, the Kusala Attena or Athena for that matter, we are beginning with the study of the Paritta, the most popular Paritta, the Ratana Sutta, where the Buddha taught Bhante Ananda how to recite the Ratana Sutta. And finally, the Buddha recited the Ratana Sutta. And immediately, the people of Vesali recover from the calamities due to the three bhaya or fears, and happiness restored in the city of Vesali. The Buddha loved the most. Yang kinchi vittang idava hurangva sagge suva yang ratanang panitam nano samang athi tathagatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitam. With this, thank you once again, Bhante, and may I begin with the sutta for today.
Bhante, you are on mute, Bhante. So it looks like Bante is on mute.
Yeah, that's okay. He is listening. Yeah, thank you.
It's okay. Start.
Yes, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah, the program is through the theater. The sun is on it.
Pankaj, can you see the screen, please?
Yes, we can see your screen, Tariya.
Okay. So today we are beginning with the sutta study, that is the Ratan Sutta Paritta. Week 8 and August 2nd in the US, August 3rd in Asia. Yang kinchi vittang idavahurang va saggesu va yang ratanang panitam. Nano samang atti tathagatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitam. Etena satchena suvatti hotu. This is the third verse from the Ratana Sutta. So that today we would be studying the Ratana Sutta from the Khuddaka Nikaya, from the Sutta Pitaka. And it is 1.6 Khuddaka Nikaya, that is the 6th Sutta in the Churvako. Okay. So we're going to also refer some material, some articles by Jnana Dasana Bhikkhu and also by Venerable Noyane Abhidhamma Mahathera and the website also. So when we look at the sutta to begin with in the Attakatha, that is the Ratana Sutta Vandana, Nikhepa Payojanam, Yasma Chetam Imang Nayam. Cheta is generally spoken of as heart. Kayena Vachaya Chetasa, with hand, speech and heart. Chetasa, that is heart, with heart. Metta Sahagatena, full of metta, heart full of metta, full of loving kindness. Tatha Yasma Mangala Sutena Attarakha. Attarakha is, Atta means self, Rakha is protected. So what is Atha and Anatha? So the Pali word Atha means the truth, having refuge, sarana, meaningful, Atha. The opposite, Anatha, is untruth, helpless and meaningless, unprofitable. What is Atta? Atta again is having essence, some content, some valuable content. Truth, Atta is truth. Atta means useful. Atta means protected. Anatta is opposite of that. No essence, no truth, not useful and helpless. So anatta, dukkha, that is anatta is a dukkha. It is nature. Anatta nature is a manifestation of engaging in thus akusala. How we see here? So atta as atta, meaningful, anatta as anatta. So the connection between atta, anatta, kusala, akusala, we are going to see in few slides, just in short. Yada nicham tang dukkham tadanatta, sabbe dukkha anatta. So here it means, what is anatta? Dukkha. Dukkha is anatta. In the sutta, Kusala Sutta, in Anguttar Nikaya, Sadhu Vagga gives the definition of dasa akusala in para 1. That is, we have already seen what das akusala is in our earlier classes. 10 immoral acts. That is, Katmancha Bhikkave akusalam panatipato adinnadanan kamisumicchacharo musavado pisunavacho farusavacho samphapalapavacho, abhijja, vyapada, michaditi. So these are like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slandering, harsh speech, empty talk, greed, hate, wrong views. All this is akusala. In the next para is given dasa kusala. So dasa kusala defined as the opposites of dasa akusala. Veramani means abstinence. So katmancha bhikkave kusalam, parati pata veramani, adinna veramani, kamesu michachara veramani, musavada veramani, pisuna vacha veramani, farusa vacha veramani, samphapalapa vacha veramani, abhijja veramani, vyapada veramani, and samaditi is kusalanti. So this is about kusala and akusala in this sutta. The first sutta what we are referring here is from Anguttara Nikaya 180 Sadhu Varga. Now the next sutta immediately is the Attha Sutta, that is Anguttara Nikaya 181 Sadhu Varga. Anatho defined in terms of dasa akusala. Atho is defined as the opposite of that. Similarly, so Atho as dasa kusala and anatho as dasa akusala is defined in the next sutta. So we have akusala as anatho. From these two sutta we have this. Akusala as anatho and kusala as atho, meaningful, truth, sarana, refuge. This means dasa akusala are not the real nature. When one goes against nature, one gets into trouble. The inference of Sutta 1 and 2 is Anatta has nothing to do with self in this reference. Anatta is all about being helpless in the vipaka process, in the rebirth process, due to one's engagement with dasa akusala. Therefore, getting into Nibbana is all about avoiding dasa akusala, that is, purifying one's mind through sila. Let's see at this sutta from the Anguttara Nikaya, Patama Adhamma Sutta. So what does this sutta say? Adhammocha bhikkave veditabo anathocha. Dhammocha veditabo athocha. That means Adhamma leads to anatta, helplessness. Dhamma leads to atta, refuge in the Nibbana, which has content, where we are protected. So just summarizing what we saw, Dhamma, Dhamma, Adhamma or Adhamma. So Dhamma basically we refer to the Buddha's teaching. Dhamma is what one bears, what principles one lives by. Normally, good Dhamma. When we say good Dhamma, Dhamma usually is referred to as good Dhamma, Dasa Kusala or Sila. Adhamma or Adhamma is the opposite of Dhamma. So if one engages in Dasa Akusala, then one is engaging in Adhamma. Now, this is kind of giving a reference like an example, like we say smell. So smell usually is referred to as bad smell, but good smell is, we say good smell. That is how it is referred to. So basically Dhamma can be good or bad. What one bears, what are the principles? What normally we use Dhamma, good Dhamma as Dhamma and bad as Adhamma. So this word Dhamma is used to indicate what one bears as a result of past karma. Dhamma are the same as karma bij, the nature of karma and vipaka. So karma bij is Dhamma, akusala leading to akusala, karma akusala, karma leading to akusala Dhamma, anatta or anatha. It should be anatha. Kusala karma bij is leading to kusala Dhamma, that is attha or atta. Anatta means no refuge in this world. Atta is truth, refuge with essence, meaningful. And atta means protected. in Dhamma. So this is the critical link between theory and practice and the protection. So theory is anicca dukkha anatta, that is the theory of Tilakkana, anatta. And practice is the kusala and akusala kamma. So dhammo cha yatha dhammo yatha atto in the Patama Abhidhamma Sutta. What one bears, when one bears true Dhamma, Yatha, one comprehends the truth and avoids being helpless in future. If one bears Dhamma and stays away from Dhamma, that will help one grasp the Tilakkana. Then one will not become anatta or helpless in this rebirth process. One will have atta or refuge, sarana. Tatha yasma mangala suttena attarakha. This is the meaning of protected, protecting oneself. Atta is here meaning protection of one who keeps the Dhamma. So Dhamma is the protector here. So as we infer from all of these three sutta, all suttas in the Tipitaka are with reference to kusala and akusala and this meaning. So these three sutta, they make the key connection between the deeper Tilakkana and the practice, cleansing the mind via sila. That is staying away from dasa akusala. Our sila is our protector and refuge. Our sila is our truth. So the Ratana Panitam, the three supreme jewels, the Buddha, the perfectly ennobled one, the Dhamma, the noble teachings of Amatang, the Sangha, the noble practitioners of the Buddha's Dhamma, and unparalleled field of merit, Anuttarang Punya Khetang. In the Khudak part, Attakatha Sutta Nipan, that is the commentary to the Ratana Sutta Vandana, is the discourse on the jewels, the power of truth. Etena Sachena Suvati Hotu. By the virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. So there are 17 verses there, and the 14 verses are uttered by the Buddha, and Sakka says the last 3 words. So the Buddha is reciting after Ananda this Ratana Sutta. Verses invoking the virtues. So the Buddha, the qualities, the virtues of the Buddha are in 9 verses here. 3, 12. Actually, the 9 qualities of the Buddha are in 3, 12, and 13 verse. And the Dhamma, the 6 qualities of the Dhamma are in verse 4 and 5. And the Sangha, the 9 qualities of the Sangha, that's verse 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 14. So that's how it is defined. The power of truth, Satya. The Buddha upheld one principle of adhering to the truth and abstaining from telling lies. His words, the power of truth, has become a source of strength in the Buddha. This is the Satya Bala of the Buddha. Then the Satya Adhitthana, firm determination based on this truth. And the act of truth, Satchikriya, the Buddha utilized even when as a Bodhisattva in his previous lives in order to ward off disasters by way of perfecting the parami, that is Satya Parami. Yeah, so we will continue with the background story. Before that, I would request Bhante to show us, there is a ceremony going on in Myanmar, and this ceremony is about the Chivara Dana. Chivara Dana ceremony. One Upasika is giving Dana of Chivara to all the Bhante in the Vihara, Bhante's Vihara, and the university, all the Bhante in the university. So I would stop share here, and we would just have a look at how the ceremony is going on. Bhante, please show us. Bhante, I request you to show us the ceremony. Bhante?
We are putting it on there, but it comes like looks like Bante's network bandwidth may be
Yeah,
a problem.
yeah.
We
Okay.
will see. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Bante, can you hear us? Bante, can you hear us? Bante, can you hear us, Bante?
Hello, you should do. Hello.
Yes, Bante. So can you please show
You
us
should
around?
do. You
Okay.
should continuously.
Okay, Bante.
I'm in the program in the WhatsApp.
Okay, Bante. Okay, Bante.
You should do your best continuously.
Okay, Bante.
So please close the voice from my side.
Yes, Bante, we will do that, Bante.
So with Bhante's permission, we are continuing. So let us see the background story of Vesali Vattu. That is the Attakatha, Vesali Vattu, the calamities in Vesali. So Ayam Pana Vesali Bhagavato Uppanna Kale Idha Vepula Patta Ahosi. At the time the Buddha was born, Vesali, the capital of the Lichavis, was prosperous and flourishing. Sa aparena samayena dubbhikha ahosi dubbutthika dusussa. Threefold calamities, upaddava, that is, threefold calamities came up at a later time in Vesali. A dubbhikkadihi, famine due to, first is the famine occurred due to drought and bad crops, and poor people died first. Next, yakha, that is amanusa, nagarang pavisimsu, entered the city, evil spirits entered the city due to stench of the corpses and dead bodies cast outdoors, and more people died. And a disease, because of all these bodies thrown outside, a disease called plague soon broke out owing to the filth over there, the rotting corpses. So this was the situation in Vesali. And people were not understanding what to do. So they came to know that the Buddha is residing in Rajagaha at that time, at King Bimbisar's palace. And after doing all sorts of things, after trying everything, the people of Vesali, the princes, they went to Rajagaha to invite the Buddha. So here in the Nimantanam, Bhagavato Nimantanam, is written, if you, Bhagavan, will come, we will be safe. The Buddha pondered within himself, understood the following. And the Buddha thought that if the Ratan Sutta will be recited in Vesali, the protection it affords will pervade hundreds of thousands of millions of solar systems. In the conclusion of the sutta, 84,000 living beings will comprehend the supramundane Dhamma, and the calamities will subside. And therefore, Buddha, having thought about all this, consented to the request of the Lichavi princess. So this is the map of Vesali, Rajagaha, where the Buddha is residing at that time. And then Patliputra. Okay, so this is the river Ganga. And the Ganga is also the boundary of Magadha. And for the Vesali, for the people of Vesali, that is, for Vesali, it is the boundary of those Lichavi kingdom. So on this side is the Magadha kingdom, on that side is the Lichavi kingdom. So the Buddha then set out, accompanied by 500 bhikkhus, to this place from Rajagaha towards Vesali. And King Bimbisara, he asked the Buddha whether the Buddha is going to visit Vesali. So the Buddha said yes. So the king says that he is going to accompany the Buddha until the Ganges, until the Ganga river, and and he would construct a road, and until then the Buddha should rest. And he constructed in this 5 yojana, 5 leagues of path from Rajgaha to the Ganga river. After every league, he constructed vihara over there for the Buddha, and and with knee deep flowers on the path, he caused to make the road, construct the road, and and accompanied the Buddha until that place. So what did the king do? Dve navayo sanghatetva, two ships he joined, and then he made a mandapa with lot of flowers he decorated, and with lot of jewels he made the platform, the seat of the Buddha, and on that the Buddha sat. 500 bhikkhus surrounded the Buddha. They sat there surrounding the Buddha, and the king, when the ship of the Buddha left, the king went into the water until neck deep to bid the Buddha, and he said, Bhante Bhagva agacchati tava hang gangatire vasisami ti vatva nivato. So until you come back, I will reside here at Ganga. I will wait for you here on this side of the Ganga, and so he is waiting there until the Buddha comes back from Vesali. So what are the 7 jewels? What is the Ratana? The 7 jewels that are mentioned here in the Attakatha. Nana Vidhani, different types of jewels are there that are mentioned here. They are also mentioned in Milinpaya. They are the precious minerals, basically. Suvarna, Rajata, Mutta, Mani, Veruria, Vajira, Pavara. These are the names of those 7 precious minerals at that time. And they are said to be used in the outfit of a ship to give it more splendor. So this is what happened at that time. Usually, this set of 7 valuables, they belong to the throne, the empire of a world king monarch, Chakravarti Raja. So these are mentioned like wheel, chakra, elephant, hatti, uposata or horse, asa or gem, money, or women, ithi, treasurer, gahapati, or advisor, parinayaka. The 7 moral ratna mentioned are Sila, Samadhi, Sila Ratana, Samadhi Ratana, Panya Ratana, Vimutti Ratana, Vimutti Nyadasana Ratana. These are the 5 Ratana. And then 2 more are Pati Sambhida Ratana and Bojhanga Ratana. So these are the 7 moral Ratana. Very frequently also the Ratana that are mentioned there are the Dhamma, Sangha, and the Buddha. So whatever the king performed to honor the Buddha, the people of Vesali, the princess, they were told by the king to come and welcome the Buddha on the other side of the Ganga. And they said, we will do twice the honor that King Bimbisar did over here. So for the Buddha, instead of the king did 2 white umbrellas covering the Buddha. So the people of Vesali, the princess, they did 4 umbrellas covering the Buddha. Parasols, you can say, instead of umbrella. So these umbrellas or parasols, 4 for the Buddha and 2 for the bhikkhus each. So that is how the citizens of Vesali did double honor. And even for the path the road, the construction, and the vihara of the Buddha. They did lot of honors for the Buddha. So the Buddha arrives at Vesali. Vesaling sampatti bhagavati sakko devanamindu deva sangha purakhato agachi. So all the devas also came in over there at Vesali, including the Sakka, the head of the king of the devas. He also came in. And imang ananda ratana suttam ugga hitva. That is what the Buddha said. The Buddha told to Ananda. Ananda, learn this Ratana Sutta, take materials for oblations and recite it as a protection within the 3 walls of Vesali, making rounds with the Lichavi princess. And the Buddha taught Ananda how to recite the Ratana Sutta. So the moment all of these devas, when the moment Buddha set foot on the land of Vesali, there was heavy rains and everything got washed away. All the dirt, all the corpses, everything got washed away in the river. And the yakhas also, the amanusas also fled from there. And that is why the sutta begins with Yanidha Bhutani, that means on this land. The Buddha is actually telling the devas to protect the people, because the people do so many merits for the devas. So the Buddha is telling the devas to protect the people there. And when the Buddha tells Ananda to do the recitation of the sutta, at the gate of the city, Venerable Ananda is reciting the sutta as a protection by taking the water in the Buddha's bowl and going about sprinkling it over the entire city. So, in the 3rd verse, when the Buddha says, Yang kinchi vittam idavahuranga, the evil spirits, they which had not fled earlier and were still there in the heaps, in the rubbish heaps, within the 4 gates of the city, they also fled by breaking the walls of the city. As soon as the evil spirits left, diseases of the bodies of humans disappeared. So the elder Ananda went about the entire city of Vesali, safeguarding it, and came back with the citizens of Vesali and sat down on one side. And at that time, the Buddha recited the Ratana Sutta once more. And when the sutta recitation concluded, well-being of the royal family, all calamities disappeared, and 84,000 living beings comprehended the supramundane Dhamma. So let us see the Ratana Sutta. We recite the Ratana Sutta and we see the meaning. The first 2 verses, the Buddha says to the gods, the devas over there, and the Buddha instructs them to show your friendliness, your metta to humankind. Mettam karotha manusiya pajaya. So the first verse is Yanidha bhutani samagatani bhumani vayani va antalikhe sabbeva bhuta sumana bhavantu athopi sakkaccha sunantu bhasitam. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, may all beings be glad. Moreover, may they attentively listen to what is said. Tasmahi bhuta nisamet sabbe mettam karotha manusiya pajaya divacha rattocha haranti ye baling tasmahi nirakhat appamatta. Therefore, paying heed All you beings show your friendliness to humankind, who day and night bring you offerings. Hence, protect them diligently. Verse 3. Yang kinchi vittam idava hurangva sagge suva yang ratanang panitang nano samang athi tathagatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena satchena suvati hotu. Whatever treasure there is here or beyond, or whatever superb jewel is in the heavens, none is equal to the Tathagata, the Buddha. Verily, in the Buddha is this superb jewel, the virtue of by virtue of this truth. May there be well-being. The Tathagata, the perfect one, is the designation of the Buddha, which the Buddha mostly is referred to by. And it means tatha, does, agata, come, does, gone, tatha, gata. None is equal to the Tathagata means whatever treasure or jewel, even a single one, is not equal to the Buddha Ratana. And what are those seven jewels? What are those Ratanam qualities? Chittikatang mahaghancha atulam dullabhadasanam anomasapta paribhogam ratanam tena vuchatiti. These are the 6 reasons why the Tathagata is regarded as the unequaled jewel. In the sutta, usually explained is more specific reasons why the Buddha is called Tathagata. Because the Buddha the Buddha is fully awakened to the nature of the world, 4 noble truths. Disentangled from it, abandoned, and has fully awakened to the cessation of the world, and has fully awakened to the practice leading to the cessation of the world, and has developed it. Because the Buddha is fully awakened to whatever in this world is seen, heard, sensed, cognized, attained, sought after, and reflected upon the mind. Because from the time of his enlightenment to the time of his passing away, everything that he says, states, and explains is just so and not otherwise. Because the Buddha speaks at the right time, speaks what is fact, speaks on what is beneficial, speaks on what is Dhamma and discipline. Because the Buddha's actions accord with his words accord with his actions. Because in this world he is supreme one in morality, concentration, wisdom, liberation, the unsurpassed one, the all-seer and the master of his mind. Also, when we see the 6 reasons why the Buddha is regarded as the unequaled jewel is Atullathena, that is unparalleled, is because of Chittikatang Ratanam. The Tathagata arises in the world, powerful gods and humans that exist honor the Buddha in great esteem. The Brahma Sahampati, the kings that are there, all the kings they honor. Even the Upasakas, the rich merchant, Anathapindika, and Asoka the Great, after the passing away of the Buddha, one of the India's greatest emperors, he showed his honors in so many ways by establishing 84,000 monasteries, spending the wealth of the kingdom in the Buddha Sasana. All the important places of the Buddha, countless chaityas, memorials, stupas, pagodas, shrines, statues in the honor of the Buddha. In India, beyond India, and even today, we can receive this benefit of the Buddha. So there is no equal jewel to the Tathagata in the sense of Chittikatang, high esteem. Because of the second is because of great value or worth, that is Mahaghancha Ratanam. So if the Tathagata receives the Panchakula as an offering, or the Chivara, it will be an abundant fruit and benefit for one in many lives to come. There is no equal jewel to Tathagata in this sense of great value and worth. Third is because of uniqueness. Atulang Ratnam. Because of Tathagata, with respect to morality, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, Vimutti, there is no one equal to the Tathagata in the sense of this uniqueness. Fourth is because of Dullabha Dassana Thena Ratanam. So it's very rare to see the Buddha, very rare. Tathagata seldom arises in the world. It is a very rare thing for the Tathagata to arise. To see the Tathagata and to see the Tathagata's Dhamma and the Sangha, noble Sangha, is a very rare thing. Next is Anoma Satta Paribhogam. Anoma Satta Paribhogam is because of superior people associating with him. So, inferior people, low quality people have distorted views, and thus they lack in sufficient conditions to attain the supramundane path, the Nibbana. And therefore, they cannot see the Tathagata. But those who are of high attainments, supramundane attainments, they are able to see the Tathagata. So, because in this sense, there is no equal jewel to the Tathagata in the sense of superior people are blessed by associating with the Tathagata, by seeing, hearing, and attending to the Buddha, by seeing the Buddha, by hearing the Buddha, and by attending to the Buddha. So, the sixth one is Rati Ananthena Ratanam, because of instilling delight. The Tathagata instills to multitudes of gods and human who follow his advice and delight of the first, second, third, fourth jhana, Rupa jhana. Then on the path, Sotapatti Magga, Sotapatti Phala, Sakdagami Magga, Sakdagami Phala, Anagami Magga, Anagami Phala, and Arhantship, Arhanta Magga, Arhanta Phala. So, in this sense also, there is no equal jewel to the Tathagata in the sense of bringing about delight. So, therefore, in the Buddha is the superb jewel, Idampi Buddhe Ratanam Panitam. Means the superb jewel is thus found in the Buddha and constitutes the most outstanding example because the Buddha is Anuttaro. By this statement, the Buddha asserts that this is true. And by virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Etena Sachena Suvatti Hotu. Next verse is verse 4. That's Khayam Viragang Amatang Panitang Yadajaka Sakyamuni Samito Natena Dhammena Samathi Kinchi Idampi Dhamme Ratanam Panitang. That superb extinction of defilements, this passion and deathlessness, which the concentrated Sakyan says the Buddha has realized, there is nothing equal to the Dhamma. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Next is Young Buddha Setho Parivarnai Suchi Samadhimana Antari Kaya Mahu Samadhina Tena Samona Vijjati Idampi Dhamme Ratanang Panitam Etena Sachena Suvati Hotu. That purity which the Supreme Buddha extolled is called concentration with immediate effect. Nothing equal to the concentration is found. Verily, in the Dhamma is the supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. So, the Buddha is the supreme jewel. The Dhamma is the supreme jewel. Here, the Buddha commences now to invoke the truth with the virtues of the teaching, the Dhamma, of the Magga Dhamma Guna. The qualities of the Magga, the Aryo Atangiko Maggo, Magga Dhamma Guna. Of uprooting, of completely cleansing and uprooting the mental defilements and stains. Next is Ye Puggala Atthasatang Pasatha Chattari Etani Yugani Honti Te Dakhineya Sugatasya Savaka Ete Sudinnani Mahafalani Idampi Sanghe Ratanang Panitang Etena Sachena Suvati Hotu. In this verse, the Buddha is praising the Sangha as a supreme jewel. That is, those 8 individuals, the Arya Puggala, who are praised by the virtuous ones, constitute the 4 pairs of person. 4 pairs meaning Sotapanna, Saddagami, Anagami, Arhanta. They are worthy of offerings and are the disciples of the welfarer, and gifts given to them yield abundant fruit. Verily, in the Sangha is the supreme jewel, and by virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Next is verse 7. Ye suppayutta manasadarhena nikkamino gotama sasanamhi te patipatta amatang vigayya ladha mudha nibuting gunjamana idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu. Meaning, those who with steadfast mind apply themselves well in the teaching of the Gotama, being desireless, attain the highest gain of arhanship. They plunge into the amatang, that is the deathlessness, nibbana, ladham, and enjoy the peace of emancipation obtained freely. Verily, in the Sangha is this supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Next is verse 8. Yathinda kilo patavisito siya chatubhi vatehi asampakampiyo tathupamang sapurisang vadami yo arya sachani aviccha pasrati idampi sanghe ratanang panitam etena sachena suvati hotu. Just as a city post fixed firmly on the ground in the kilo is unshakable by the 4 winds, so too, I declare, is the virtuous person who sees the noble truths unwaveringly. Verily, in the Sangha is this supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Verse 9. Ye arya sachani vibhavayanti gambhira payyena sudesitani kinchapite hoti bhusang pamatha nate bhavang atama adiyanti idampi sanghe ratanang panitam etena sachena suvati hotu. Those who clearly comprehend the noble truths, well taught by the Buddha, of profound wisdom. Even if they are very negligent, they do not take up an eighth birth. Verily, in the Sangha is this supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Verse 10. Saha vassa dasana sampadaya tayassu dhamma jahita bhavanti sakkaya ditti vichikichitancha silabhattavapi yadathi kinchi chatuha paye hi cha vippamutto chacha bhitanani abhabbo katum idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu. In this verse also, the Buddha praises the Sangha a lot. Most of the verses, the Buddha praises the Sangha just with his gaining of insight. A bhikkhu, an arya, he abandons three states of mind. Sakkaya ditti, that is self-identity view, skeptical doubt, vichikicha, and whatsoever grasping to mere rules and observance, that is rites and rituals, silabhatta. He is also fully freed from rebirth, that is the four woeful worlds, apaya, and is incapable of committing the six major misdeeds. Verily, in the Sangha is this superb jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Verse 11. Kincha piso kammang karoti papakam kayena vacha udachetasa abhabbo so tassa patichadaya abhabbata dittha padassa vutta idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena sachena suvatti hotu. Any evil action he may still commit by means of body, speech or mind, he is incapable of concealing it. For it is said that such incapability is of one who has seen the path of Nibbana. Verily, in the Sangha is this supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Verse 12. Vanappa gumbe yatha fusitagye gimhana mase pathamasmin gimhe tathupamang dhammavarang adesai nibbanagaming paramang hitaya idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena sachena suvatti hotu. As a woodland grove is crowned with blossoming flowers during the heat of the first month of the summer, even so crowned is the sublime Dhamma, leading to Nibbana, which the Buddha expounded for the highest good. Verily, in the Buddha is this superb jewel, supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Verse 30. Varo varayu vardo varaharo anuttaro dhammavarang adesai idampi buddhe ratanam panitang etena sachena suvati hotu. The Buddha, the sublime one, Nibbana, the knower of the sublime, the giver of the sublime Dhamma, the bringer of the sublime noble path. Thus is described as the Buddha. The peerless one, the Buddha, taught the sublime Dhamma. Verily, in the Buddha is this superb jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. Verse 14. Khinam Puranang Navangati Sambhavang Viratta chitta yatike bhavasmi. Te kirna bija aviruri chanda. Nibbanti dhira yathayang padipo. Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang. Etena sachena suvati hotu. So whatever is their old karma is destroyed. No new karma is produced. And their mind is unattached to future birth. Those wise ones, with the seed of rebirth consciousness destroyed, and with no more desire for further growth, go out as the flame of a lamp. Verily in the Sangha is this supreme jewel. By virtue of this truth, may there be well-being. And the Buddha stopped here. Sakka, the Lord of the gods, then recited the verses 15, 16, and 17. So verse 15, Yanidha bhutani samagatani gummani vayani va antalikhe tathagatam deva manussa pujitam buddham namassama suvatti hotu. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, let us revere the perfect Buddha, honored by gods and men. May there be well-being. Verse 16, Yani dhabhutani samagatani bhummani vayani va antalikhe tathagatam deva manussa pujitam dhammang namassama suvatti hotu. Let us revere the perfect Dhamma. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, let us revere the perfect Dhamma, honored by gods and men. May there be well-being. And verse 17, Yani bhutani samagatani bhummani vayani va antalikhe tathagatam deva manussa pujitam sangham namassama suvatti hotu. Whatever beings are here assembled, whether terrestrial or celestial, let us revere the perfect Sangha, honored by gods and men. May there be well-being. So the discourse ends here with these three verses uttered by Sakka, and he expresses his adoration for the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, urging also the gods to revere them and wishing, may there be well-being. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So may all those who recite and those who listen to the Ratan Sutta lead to happiness, health, and prosperity. The result of reciting the Ratan Sutta. As soon as the Buddha concluded the recitation of the verses with the exclusive virtues of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, there was well-being to the royal family in Vaisali. All calamities immediately disappeared. 84,000 living beings comprehended the supramundane Dhamma. In order to prevent future calamities, the Buddha recited it likewise for 6 more days. And every day, a similar number of beings comprehending the supramundane path, Dhamma, they comprehended that. So, 84,000 beings for 7 days comprehended. That means 5,88,000 beings attained the supramundane path, fruitions of the path, Nibbana. And they bore witness to this experience, the whole event. And all the 3 calamities, the bhaya, famine, evil spirits, diseases vanished completely. And this is the power of the Ratana Sutta, the blessing for perfect protection and an aid for every meditation leading to Nibbana. This unique power of the Ratana Sutta, based on the boundless power of truth of the Buddha's truth, the Buddha's command, it surpasses all. And this miraculous effect of this recitation went ahead to 100,000 solar systems, Satasahasakoti Chakkavala. Even today, when calamities of disease and misfortune abound, every Buddhist should arouse loving kindness, metta, and compassion, karuna, and recite the Ratana Sutta for the protection and safety of oneself, of one's country, and the whole world. So let us see the Buddha's message in Ratana Sutta. Dubbikha. Dubbikha means having less food. It is a famine, less food, because of Utu, climate, global warming, tsunami. Utu is one thing, and second is ahara, food based on temperature, no quality, no nourishment of the food that we have. So Utu, ahara coming as kamma. It is a kamma. Bad kamma, which we are fighting in the world, making diseases, creating weapons, so filled with dosa, a lot of dosa. And these, if you make stronger weapons, it's rooted in dosa, dosa mula. And because of this dosa, that is the akusala chitta, our mind is not in a good state. Our mind is bad. If our mind is good, our action is also good. So then the food we eat is also good. It does not have roga, no disease. Mind is the solution. It starts from our mind. If we are not keeping good mind condition, then that is the reason why everything is changing. Less food, less rain, or too much rain, unbalanced. And temperature also very high or very low. We should keep our mind balanced, good, in control. If there is strong lobha or strong dosa, it is deep lobha. In this case, there is no samma ajiva, no balance in life. And adinnadana, if there is adinnadana also, then dosa with lobha. And all of this global warming, earthquake, flood, plague, whatever is arising undesirable in this world is roga. And it's coming from our mind. The problem is without sila. There is no knowledge and no concentration. So whatever problem is inside of us, same is outside. So outside problem also arising. Our country, our people, our society, we find that anto jata bahi jata. The Buddha says solve all problems by morality, by sila. If too much of killing of animals or living beings dying too much, so in the Ratana Sutta, the Yakha come into the city because of the human blood and stench and heart they like. Finally, when they invite Buddha, Samma Ajiva coming, good Deva, Brahma coming. So the Buddha teaches Ananda how to do or recite the Ratana Sutta. And the Yakhas go away. This is the Paritta, a covering. For any home, any society, any country, this is the protection. Buddha Dhamma is also a protection. I'm sorry about the slide. Yeah, it is moved there. Buddha Dhamma is also a protection. Basically, this is the Satya, the truth. Satya has power in the world. It has great power in the world. We do not have power because of Musavada. The air from the mouth is not true. That's why we do not believe any other person. The earth is also not true. Therefore, earthquakes take place. Water, the rain is unbalanced and cyclone coming up now and then. Fire also, so many times, uncontrollable, havoc. The air that we breathe is and the air which, it is because of this air that we speak. So we do not believe also each other. That's why so much Musavada and side effects coming. Whether it is the government, society, universe, Everything depends on us. We are not true, therefore the environment is also not true in return. Unbalanced. The climate, air, water, earth, fire, everything. Because we are not true. These are the Mahabhuta, basically. That everything in the living world consists of living and non-living world. So these are the parts of Rupa, Mahabhuta. So the Mahabhuta also not true. Where is the solution? The solution is we should be true. Solution is in our hands. Whatever Buddha tells, we do not believe. We are not honest, no sila, and therefore no peace. Peace means sita. Sila is sita, cool. Our life and mind, also there is no samadhi. Because of no sila, no samadhi. So where is the balance of our mind or the stability of our mind? If there is no concentration, no sila, no concentration, no samadhi, and no panya, no wisdom. This is based on the concept that we are not honest. And because of too much of killing, stealing, telling lies, akusala chitta, we have less and less species day by day. Because of lobha and dosa. So many species in the world have gone extinct. More than 12,000 species have gone extinct. But we need the singing sound of birds, and therefore we need a balanced mind. The Ratan Paritta is the need for protection. It provides the need for protection, just like a medicine. Not just listening, but applying outside the body, in the outside world. And not just in the outside world, but we should actually swallow the pill because we have too much of roga. But we do not take anything inside, only outside, and then is over with us. So yang kinchi vittang idavahuranga sagge suva yang ratanam panitang nano samangati tathagatena idam pi buddhe ratanam panitang. We cannot find anywhere anything like this Buddha. And we're searching for jewels only outside. Searching for jewels outside also damages us. Many people die inside the earth searching for jewels as an ornament on our head. And therefore, it is so difficult to find the Buddha as an ornament, dullabho. So this is the paritta, this is the protection the Buddha has given, has taught us. Even so many years after, the Buddha has taught us to narrate an instant, even in Sri Lanka, it so happened during the time of King Upatissa II, during the 3rd, 4th century in Sri Lanka. The Mahavansa, the great chronicle, it states that during the reign of King Upatissa II, the island of Sri Lanka was troubled by the ills of a famine and a plague. The benevolent king asked the Sangha to recite the Ratan Sutta, which they did throughout the night. When morning dawned, a great cloud poured rain on the earth. The famine subsided, and all who had suffered from the plague recovered. The king then decreed, when there shall be on the island an evil such as famine, plague, or the like, thus shall it be done. Later, King Sena II, in the century 853 to 887 AD, had the whole discourse inscribed on a golden plate and held a great festival in its honor. So thus is the history of Ratana Sutta. And the most recited sutta, even now during the time of the pandemic, is the Ratana Sutta. Every day, the Noble Sangha reciting the Ratana Sutta, the Upasaka, the Upasika, all reciting the Ratana Sutta and the Ratana Sutta protecting. In Myanmar, the Paritta, the protective chantings or the protective suttas, there are 11 of them usually. We have seen the Ratana Sutta today. The second sutta which we had taken, the first one was Dhammachakra Pavartana Sutta, second one was the Mangal Sutta. And today we have done the Ratana Sutta. So we see the significance of the Ratana Sutta in today's world. Today also we recited the Ratana Sutta as a protective chanting, as a protective paritta. May those who read and use this presentation be blessed with good health and long life in the Buddha Sasana. May all beings be happy. And with that, we come to the question answer session. Today, maybe we may not be able to take too many of them, but all of you are most welcome to write the questions to dhamma.questionanswer@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tai. Thank you for a great discourse again, a great class. We will open up the forum for question and answer. Please go ahead and type your question in the chat window. Again, looks like Tai, we have lost Bhante.
Yeah, Bhante may be busy in the...
Right now, he joined from some Bhante's, other Bhante's phone, Bhante Vimala's phone, but even that one we lost now. So just wanted to let you know that we... Okay, Tai, your first question is more of a request. Can we put all the parittas like Ratana Sutta in the WhatsApp group? I think earlier we did share a Ratana Sutta link with the paritta, but we will try to see if other parittas are available, and we will reshare the Ratana Paritta again.
Yeah, sure. We will do that. Yeah, we would be glad to do that. Yes, to share with everyone.
There is one question related to Ratana Sutta, that all the calamities vanished instantly after recitation of Ratana Sutta. Does not it point to miracle? Your comments on that, Tai?
Yes, sure. I would like to comment on this. Yeah. So this question is about miracles. So how do we define miracles? Is it something that an event that has happened but not possible to happen? Is it something like that we define a miracle? It is not possible to happen like this. When in the beginning of the presentation we discussed that this is the power of truth, the power of Satya, and the Buddha in all his past lives has been doing the 10 paramita, of which Satya is one of the paramita. Every birth that the Buddha has as Bodhisattva, the Buddha practiced the power of Satya to ward off disasters, with the same intention, to ward off disasters that are befalling in the stories. And what are these paramis basically? They are perfections of with a particular goal, with a particular goal. When we have the Panchasila and we say the 4 actions of speech, akusala and kusala. Akusala means, we all know, musavada, pisunavacha, farusavacha, samphapalapavacha. These are the 4 akusala. And Veramani, that is musavada Veramani, pisunavacha Veramani, farusavacha Veramani, and samphapalapavacha Veramani. All these 4 kusala, they help us in kusala actions. They help us in protecting our own self. The sila protects us. The sila empowers us. And this Ratana Sutta is the power that the Buddha has of truth, which the Buddha has practiced over so many 4 lakh and 4 infinite, that is asankhya, 4 asankhya and 1 lakh kappa. That is the period that the Buddha has practiced these paramis, the perfections. And it is this moment that the Buddha is using the power of the paramis, his perfection. So it is a Satchikiriya. It is like a simple thing. Whatever we have done, whatever we have in mind, and if we, based on that thing, if we say that by the power of this particular action of mine, made this happen. So it is nature that makes it happen. That is the law of nature. In this sense, it is nature. And it is the power of nature, that the whole nature comes together to work for it. So that is how we had defined the power of truth, Satya Bala, then the determination of the Buddha, Satya Adhitthana, and the action of the Buddha, Satchikiriya. So we can say it is a miracle because we don't have that power. And we don't have the capability to identify the power. We can say that it is a miracle for us because we do not know, we have not experienced it. But the Buddha says you can experience by following the Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Even we can do it. Even we can experience this power. Maybe the noble persons, the Arya persons who can actually experience the power, they may not call it miracle, but they would call it the law of nature. So, is that okay?
Yes, Thai. Thank you very much. Thai, we're going to take at least 2 more questions that I see pretty relevant in today's class. I know you already mentioned about taking on the time. So we will try to be on time to take less questions. We will have these questions anyway in our QA follow-up. Please help differentiate between Paritta and Paramita. Those words, they are similar sounding words, but if some people are confusing, please comment a little bit more on Paritta and Paramita.
Yeah, sure. So Paritta is basically a protection. Paritta, a covering, something which is covering over our head. Like a house covers us, right? Like we are protected in it. So that is a covering, a protection. That is paritta. And paramita basically is acts of perfection, acts of perfecting the actions. So, which the Buddha has uh, carried out in every life after life, perfecting it still further until it is completely perfected. So that is why we call Buddha the perfectly ennobled one, from based on which the Buddha is having the samayunyana, the knowing of everything, the all-knowing one. So that is the paramita. So when one is doing a kusal action, at that time he is doing it with an intent and with his own capacity. A small boy, or let's say, for example, this is just an example, a small boy, when he's doing an action, a good action, with an intent of doing a good action, he has some capacity, capability to do it in those limits. But every time when you try to do an action and you start perfecting it, then you try to gain mastery and skillfulness over that action. So doing kusala action repeatedly over and over again is attaining perfection for that action, and that is called as paramita, parami for that matter. Yeah. So is that okay?
Yes, Thai. Yeah, thank you very much. Your next one is related to looks like a question coming. What is a good sutta or paritta for children to be taught, or for children to be doing it?
Yes. So for children,
Just to keep their mind or health balanced. Yeah.
Yes. So we in India basically are learning from our neighbors who have preserved the Dhamma since so many years, 2,600 years. Sri Lanka has played a very major role in preserving the Dhamma, and likewise Myanmar has played a very major role in preserving the Abhidhamma. So when we look at, and then there are other Theravada countries who are very strict, like in Vinaya, the Thailand as a country is the most strict in Vinaya there. So we find that the preservation of the Dhamma in our neighboring countries, especially the Theravada countries, helps us to understand the Dhamma in today's context. So yes, education is one field where I personally feel that every child should know the Dhamma right from childhood. And it should be a very, you can say, an important part of training our children in the Dhamma right from a very young age. So the paritta, which paritta is good for children? So countries like Sri Lanka, when we visited country like Sri Lanka, small children, very small children in Sunday schools, they recited the Mangala Sutta so beautifully, Mahamangala Sutta. Mahamangala Sutta is a complete training for life. The whole sutta. If a child is very small, he can learn from the Mangala Sutta, Mahamangala Sutta, that Matu Pitu Upattanam, like to honor and respect parents, teachers, elders. He can learn that. When he grows up a little bit, he can do many more things, like he becomes young in age. There are other things like Nyatakanancha Sangaho, Uttadarasa, wife, children, when he earns, how to take care of them, how to take care of the family, of the parents, of grandparents. Everything is there in the Mangala Sutta. So at every stage of life, even when he is old, then the other part follow, the future things like Dhamma Savana, Dhamma, any which ways, Kalena Dhamma Savana, Kalena Dhamma Sakacha, and then the path towards Arati Virati Papa. Majjapana cha sanyamo. When he is young, he should not get into Majjapana. Majjapana cha sanyamo. So the Mangala Sutta is actually telling us how to be in every stage of our lives. It is leading us towards Nibbana. Asokam virajam khemam, etang mangalam uttamam. At the end of the sutta, asokam, without sorrow. Virajam, removing of all defilements. Khemam, being protected. Healthy, happy. So that is the intent of the Mangala Sutta. I think this is a sutta even in Myanmar. Bhante told us, Bhante Musala said in this class when we had that Mangala Sutta, when a child is just learning A, B, C, D or whatever alphabets in their native language, the Myanmar way or whichever, when the child is in kindergarten itself, he is taught the Mangala Sutta. He knows to recite the Mangala Sutta at that small age. So this is one sutta I think should be part and parcel of every childhood. Yeah. Yes, Pankaj?
Yeah, thank you very much, Tai. There are a few questions, and we should really get that answered during at least the QA session. So we're gonna put this in our chat, saved chat, right? And we will get these questions. If
Okay.
so, you wanted to continue with what, Tai? Then
So I would
stopped
like
you in between.
everyone,
Sorry.
yeah. So I would like everyone to know there is, we have a very ardent and energetic and a very dedicated Buddhist who is working on the sites in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and those places, Mr. Deepak Anand, and he has discovered many different sites based on the diaries of Xuanzang, the Chinese traveler to India. It is based on the diaries of Xuanzang, that is Journey to the West. That is the name of the book. It's in Chinese, basically translated by a French scholar. So, based on this book, Sir Alexander Cunningham identified the different sites which we see today in India, the birthplace of the Buddha, the 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 enlightenment of the Buddha in Bodh Gaya, the first sermon of the Buddha in Sarnath, and the Mahaparinibbana of the Buddha, and along with that, other important sites in Vesali, in Savatthi, and so on and so forth, Rajagaha and other places. So it is Sir Alexander Cunningham to begin with, who has done major work based on the diary of the Chinese pilgrim Xuanzang, and Deepak Anand, Mr. Deepak Anand, he is working on this since many years, since almost 10 years, and this is about a new discovery he has made where the Buddha cut his hair. That is the location, and it is inside a forest. So we can see here that Mr. Deepak Anand, he is going to be live on 10th of August, that's on Monday, 8 p.m. in Malaysia and 5:30 p.m. in India. So if any one of us who are interested to know more about these historical places and the exploration and discovery of new places, of those places, so we can very well join this session. And we would also like to give you a glimpse of the great work that Mr. Deepak Anand is doing right now. Basically, he's an engineer, but he has dedicated himself to this cause of the Buddha's Dhamma and how the Dhamma has spread, and identifying such new places. So if you can see the video, please. Sanjay ji, can we see the video? So if you all visit around those places, you might find Deepak ji somewhere around that place, he actually is walking or tracing the path of Xuanzang. And he had to stop on 5th of July because of the COVID-19 situation, the pandemic situation. So you can put the audio from Join audio.
Yes, Dada, we can see it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sanjay Dada. Yeah. I'm still looking for Bhante Tai. I'm keeping watch on that. So till Bhante is,
Okay.
if Bhante joins. So
So-
before we go with the Punyanumodana, we can do the other two things then.
Yes. The first thing is, I would like to express my thanks to everyone who have been part of the journey from since 8 weeks. It gives me great pleasure to connect with everyone since these 8 weeks in Dhamma, discussing Dhamma and nothing else. It's so wonderful. We are helping each other to grow in Dhamma, to be a part of it. In this Kusal Kamma, this is the first of its kind that an online class, online course had been arranged. There were few classes which we had done on Sundays with Anna, and Anna requested that we do a course. In fact, Pankajji very enthusiastically took this initiative. Yes, and for everything, yes, we will do it. Yes, we will do it. So that's how we began formulating the course for 8 weeks with International Abhidhamma Society. Abhidhamma being the forte of International Abhidhamma Society. And the integration of the Abhidhamma with the Sutta and Vinaya, which is not very prevalent in the world. Understanding it from the holistic perspective, from a general understanding in the masses. So Abhidhamma is said to be something that is not uh, in the arena of the common people. But Abhidhamma is very useful for daily life. It has to go to the masses. It has everyone who are practicing the Dhamma should know basically what it is. And that is the work of and the mission of Bhante Kusala. Bhante Kusala decided that, okay, we take Abhidhamma and Sutta together. And the course was formulated. So this is how this class came into being. And everything that was decided as and when, nothing was planned so much. There were difficulties that came up. And there were difficulties for which solutions came up. So, continuing with this course, I would like to thank Bhante foremost in the functioning or working of the whole course that happened. And what better day than Guru Purnima today to thank Bhante. The whole course went on very well. All of you appreciated the course. This gives so much contentment and satisfaction to me and, yes, to the whole team. The success lies in the usefulness of the course. Everyone talking about the usefulness of the course really meant the value of the course. And the team that came up together at every step, right from the beginning, we had a lot of registrations, grand registration opening, but how to manage. So a lot of things were done back end. Many activities done back end. Pankaj and Sheetal, they have done a lot of work in getting the groups, updating, and so kindly, right from the first course to the last course, updating everyone about the happenings of the course. I wish to thank both of them. And especially Pankaj hosting the course so lovingly, so kindly. And yeah, I'm very thankful to Pankaj.
Thank you,
Also,
Tanya.
we have other back-end people working for recording the course. So recording the course in time and delivering it to all the WhatsApp members, participants of the course for study, for timely study, is again another dedicated act. I would like to thank Sanjay ji for that. And the whole technicalities to handle the so many number of people and updating all of them, the technology, the new technology, which usually not the older people are not very familiar with. So the younger generation, I would like to thank Apurva. So this is about the team that worked for it. All those who did not form a part of this front end also supported the course. I am greatly indebted to Anna for supporting this course, because even if the team members did not show up in as a front face, they were all supporting at the back end. And that is how uh, hosting this course on the Anna platform, Zoom platform, is, I would like to thank all the Anna team members for that. Other aspects of the course, again, like we use some reference material during the course. We use the Pali Tipitaka provided by different Pali Text Society, by the Myanmar Tipitaka, by Thai Tipitaka, by VRI. So all of them who provided these material, and which is available freely on the website, not only of the Tipitaka sources, freely available for everyone. Also the scholars, great scholars. We see Bhikkhu Bodhi. So the Bhante, providing all of his material freely for academic purposes. All other reference material, I would like to thank each one of them. I would like to thank each one of them. Yeah. This helped us in the learning process. And I would like to thank also all of you participants individually. If not for you, this course wouldn't have happened. Or at every moment we were seeing what would be the requirements, what would be the need, and accordingly we formulated. So there is one thing that I look at. One thing is the question and answers. Due to whatever reasons that may be, we were not able to reply in a timely way to all of these questions. I ask for your apologies for that. And continuing forward from here, we would be answering those questions on the Facebook page of International Abhidhamma Society. Also, whatever was committed in the course schedule of that, we could see that in Abhidhamma, we because of the difficult subject, I was not able to assess how much of the portion would be covered in Abhidhamma. It is a difficult subject though, and the way Bhante taught so simply is so commendable and so heartening. So since that part, I would like to take upon me that I was not able to assess whether the first 3 chapters would be covered. So we covered first chapter and second chapter. I know that the complete book, Abhidhammatta Sangaho, which has 9 chapters, each and every chapter is very, very valuable. We have not done many others like Rupa chapter. Rupa chapter is so much relevant in the physicality of this world, where questions like, is tree a roop or a naam and a roop? Such kind of questions which are very easily understood in that chapter. How does roop form? Kamma chitta utu ahar. So these are the 4 things. And the tree doesn't have kamma, right? Doesn't have chitta. Only utu and ahar. That is the answer. Only climate and the minerals that it seeks in, like water and the minerals from the soil. So that ahar and utu, climate. And therefore the tree is not having chitta and kamma. And therefore it does not have nama. It is only rupa. But this is a very short answer. This cannot be understood at this level. We want to know more how it is. And therefore, all these chapters are very important to be known in details. Some answers that we could not give was because that could be understood at a later date. So, considering all of this, whatever we came across that was good and happened well was all because of the team members, each one of them dedicating to the work, to the team. Any shortcomings, I would like to apologize. And thank you so much, all the participants. It was very nice to meet you on a weekly basis. And I also feel that we would catch up on this again very soon in the learning of the Dhamma. Yeah. So I would like to thank everyone once again. And because of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the Sarana, the refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the metta of Bhante, and the enthusiasm, willingness, virya, chetana of all the team members and the participants, we have come to an end of the course. Going forward, International Abhidhamma Society is looking forward to come up with a future course, a course in future, which would be with a different method, a different aspect of learning Abhidhamma, more interactive, more close to the teacher and the learner. And hopefully it would be much easier, just in the intent is to make things easier to learn. So very soon, this would be announced in the group, not yet been formulated, and in the making for that matter. And once again, we come to learn the Abhidhamma from this perspective. Yeah. And that is all I have to say for now. Please join the International Abhidhamma Facebook page and the account INTL Abhidhamma for future communication on any event or any happenings or even about the course. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Tai. We are keeping up the WhatsApp group active, so whenever the new course would be coming up, we will share that. So I do wanted to thank International Abhidhamma Society for coming up this course and teaching it this particular combination of Abhidhamma with Sutta to make them understand in a better way, or in a different light, was put forward by International Abhidhamma Society, and we are thankful for that one. So I do wanted to announce, I know a lot of you guys asked that what are we doing with Vassa period being around, and you wanted to keep learning and continue studying with Dhamma. So we are thankful that Mahabodhi Society, Bangalore, so their research center, Mahabodhi Research Center, they have come up with a 3-month Vassa period course. And I'm just going to share that detail right now. So the course would be starting. The course would be starting on August 8th. So that would be next Saturday, and it will run through 1st November. Again, this course would be 2 days in a week, Saturday and Sunday, every week, starting August 8th, and the last day would be November 1st. And the timings for this course, we are trying to make it easier. We know a lot of people from Europe had a very difficult time on connecting with the Sunday course, Sunday evening course that we had, and Monday morning course in India and Myanmar. So that used to be a late night for them, and we are thankful that many of them still made all the adjustment they had to do. So we were trying to avoid that and wanted this course, the new course, to be more time friendly. So this particular time is what we find is fairly covering from Australia up to Pacific time. New Zealand and Hawaii are the 2 areas where this is slightly off time right now still. But in any day in the time, any day, we just cannot cover all time zones. So both days we are trying to keep the timings to be same. 7:30 p.m. India time, USA time would be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. and that is on every Saturday and Sunday, August 8th through November 1st. And this particular course is going to cover 4 different or the major topics in the coverage. So those are the first one is life and message of Buddha is topic number 1. Fundamental teaching of Buddha is topic number 2. Leading a Buddhist life is topic number 3, and meditation is topic number 4. All these 4 topics would be covered in total of 26 sessions, starting with August 8th through November 1st, and they will be covering up multiple sessions. This particular course is more, is done by the Bhantes at Mahabodhi Society, Bangalore, and different Bhante would be covering up a particular topic, and those who register for the course will get all the details on it. So again, we are trying to keep everyone engaged, providing a Dhamma learning opportunity, and we will share the course registration material and request onto the WhatsApp group. So we will do that. And that's pretty much what I have. Again, I think I just wanted to show the timings here. If that is something it's missed, Saturdays and Sundays every week, August 8th through November 1st. That's the time. And so the title of the course is Fundamentals of Buddha Dhamma.
So let us all join our hands and whatever merits that we have attained during this course, we would like to do the Punyanumodana. Punya is Kusala. Anumodan, sharing of merits, of the Kusala merits that we have attained here during the course. So, idang me punyang asava khayang hotu, idang me punyang nibbanassa pachayo hotu. May this merit be a cause for Nibbana. Because of this, my great merit of Dhamma Savana and Dhamma Desana, may I attain Nibbana. May the Punya Kamma of Dana, Seal, Bhavana, of Dhamma Savana, of Dhamma Desana, all that I have learned during this course, may this merit be a cause for Nibbana. Imang punya bhagang sabbe sattanang bhajema. Imang punya bhagang sabbe sattanang bhajema. I am sharing my merits to all living beings, especially my mother, my father, my grandmother, my grandfather, my teachers, auntie, uncle, and all relatives and friends in our daily life, in our lives, and all the devas protecting us. Rukhattha, Akasattha, Bhumattha, Chatu Maharajika, and all the devas and Brahmas, and all the beings, Manussa, Amanussa, all of the beings. All beings, please accept my merits. Please accept my merits. Samma Sambuddha Sasanam Chirang Tithatu Lokasmin. May the teaching of the Buddha stand in the world for a long, long time. The teaching of the Buddha also is anicca. But may the Buddha's teaching be in the world for a long time. The commentary says 5,000 years that the teaching of the Buddha will be there. We cannot find the teaching of the Buddha or we cannot find the Nibbana outside the teaching of the Buddha, just like we cannot find the footprints of a bird, a sakuna, in the sky. So, may the teaching of the Buddha stand in the world for a long, long time. This teaching of the Buddha leading to Nibbana is in the Eightfold Path. There is no way to Nibbana outside of the Eightfold Path, the Aryo Attangiko Maggo. Aryo Attangiko Maggo is the only way of Buddha Sasana, the way to become Arahanta. Therefore, Buddha Sasana is not easy to disappear in this world because of the Aryo Attangiko Maggo. If Aryo Attangiko Maggo is there, then the Buddha Sasana is there. When one practices, that's why it is possible to attain Nibbana. This is how the Buddha's Dhamma can be, or the Buddha's Sasana can be carried forward by practicing. If no one practices, then it will disappear. So, according to the commentary, it is 5,000 years. But the Buddha says, as long as the Aryo Attangiko Maggo is practiced, the Buddha Sasana will stand in the world. With this, say, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all be well. May there be health and happiness.
Thank you very much, Sai. And
I declare that we have come to an end of the 8-week-long course of fundamentals of Abhidhamma now. Yeah. Thank you.
thank you very much, Sai. And from us, all the participants, the students, we wish you, Bhante, very happy Guru Purnima. Thank you for being our teachers.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Akiva.